Michael was resolute in his belief that he would never, under any circumstances, own a cat. However, fate had other plans when an unexpected encounter with a charming ginger feline altered the course of his life. When Michael was just 8 years old, he endured a terrifying attack by a feral cat while innocently playing at the park near his home. The wild creature lunged at him, sinking its claws deep into his face and body. The sharp pain and fear from that day remained etched in Michael's memory, leaving him both physically injured and deeply traumatized. This harrowing experience instilled a profound fear and aversion to cats that lingered well into his adulthood. Michael took extreme measures to avoid any situation involving cats, carefully screening new friends to ensure they didn't own any and refusing to enter homes where cats resided. He adhered strictly to his rule: no cats, ever. Michael was certain that he would never allow one of those animals into his life. One day, everything unexpectedly changed. While jogging near his apartment, Michael noticed a tiny, shivering cat under a bush. Its sad meows touched his heart. Despite his fear of cats, Michael's first instinct was to keep moving and pretend he hadn't seen the pathetic creature. But the cat's big, pleading eyes made him stop. Feeling an unexpected wave of compassion, he carefully approached the kitten. "Well, you look pretty pitiful," Michael murmured, reaching out to let the cat sniff his hand. When the feline didn't react aggressively, Michael did something surprising. He gently scooped the trembling furball into his arms. Cradling the cat against his chest, he felt a wave of protectiveness. He knew he couldn't leave this helpless thing to fend for itself. He took the cat back to his apartment, where he fed it food and water. As he watched the pitiful little thing try to summon enough energy to groom itself, it became clear that more urgent care was needed. A local animal shelter was the best shot at saving the scraggly feline. Without hesitation, Michael picked up the cat and rushed it to the nearby shelter. There, the veterinary staff was impressed with his gentle care for the sickly stray he had rescued off the streets. "You must be a very kind young man to have gone to all this effort for an animal in need," the vet remarked as she examined the cat. Michael just shrugged, still not fully understanding what had compelled him to act impulsively against his own nature. After a thorough examination, the vet diagnosed the cat with a nasty upper respiratory infection and malnutrition. But with proper antibiotics, fluids, and some general tender loving care, she assured Michael the feisty little guy would fully recover. A wave of relief washed over him, knowing this helpless stray's life had been saved. The vet also informed Michael that, given the severity of the cat's condition, it would need to remain at the shelter for several days to receive round-the-clock care and monitoring during its treatment. Michael didn't mind. He certainly wasn't going to take the cat home with him. Or was he? Over the next few days, Michael got into the habit of visiting the shelter every day to spend time with the cat and help him get better. He didn't understand why, but he loved watching the once sick cat become more energetic and playful each day. Strangely enough, he wasn't intimidated by its sudden movements and jumps, and even found the courage to pet him every once in a while. When the cat, named Finn by the shelter staff, was finally healthy and ready for adoption, Michael surprised himself by being the first to fill out the paperwork and bring Finn home. He didn't know what had possessed him, but what started as simply rescuing a helpless stray had turned into genuine affection. Perhaps he felt it was time to let go of his fears. After all, he was a grown man now. Or maybe it was just the unbreakable bond that had developed between him and Finn since the first moment they lay eyes on each other. As Michael completed the adoption forms, committing to be responsible for Finn, he realized his deep-rooted fear of cats had faded. Finn's playful behavior and obvious happiness during his visits had gradually worn down his prejudices. When the staff brought out the healthy Finn, he couldn't resist picking him up and petting his soft fur. The cat purred loudly, seeming to know that he had found his permanent home. Michael went all out to make his home perfect for Finn, buying plush beds, scratching posts, and more toys than one cat could ever need. He watched endless online videos about cat nutrition and care, determined to be the best owner for his new friend. At night, he would smile happily as Finn curled up to sleep beside him, filling the quiet apartment with comforting purrs. Michael had never expected to find such joy and companionship in something he had once feared viscerally, but Finn had opened his eyes to the incredible capacity for love that pets could provide. As the weeks flew by, Michael was stunned by Finn's capacity for pure, unabashed adoration. The formerly skittish cat now greeted him at the door each evening with a cheerful meow as if to say, "You're home." During playtimes, Michael giggled at Finn's hilarious antics as the orange furball wildly batted at his dangling toys. But the most special moments were when the cat would climb into his lap and gaze up at him adoringly with those saucer eyes. In those tender moments, Michael's traumatic childhood attack was like a distant memory. His cat was the opposite of threatening. Finn was all about unconditional love, always finding ways to show affection to Michael. As he held him, he felt peace and joy and realized he had been missing his whole life. But soon enough, he would find out that his cat could provide much more than love and companionship. He could keep him safe as well. One night, Michael was sleeping soundly with Finn beside him when the cat sensed something was wrong. The kitten smelled smoke in the air and began frantically pawing at Michael's face and mewing loudly, trying to wake him up. Finally, Michael woke up due to Finn's persistent efforts and was instantly alarmed by the strong smell of smoke. His heart sank when he saw flickering orange light coming from the kitchen. A small fire had started from a dish towel close to the stove burner. Michael knew they needed to evacuate immediately, but his main concern was protecting Finn. He scooped up the confused cat and wrapped him in a thick towel to shield him from the smoke. He hurried to the front door, but when he opened it, he saw the hallway was completely engulfed in flames, blocking their only exit. Thinking quickly, Michael retreated into his apartment and looked for another way out. He remembered the small window in the bathroom. It was a tight squeeze, but it was their only chance. Holding Finn tightly with one arm, Michael used his free hand to break the window glass. He carefully maneuvered himself and the cat through the opening and dropped down to the ground outside, holding Finn protectively to cushion the fall. Once outside and at a safe distance, Michael pulled the fire alarm to alert the rest of the building before calling 911. Firefighters soon arrived to put out the blaze that had spread from his apartment. As he watched with Finn in his arms, Michael couldn't stop replaying the ordeal in his mind. If it hadn't been for his cat's keen senses, they might not have made it out at all. From that night on, Michael had an even deeper protective bond with Finn, knowing his furry companion had quite literally saved his life, just as he had saved Finn's by rescuing him off the streets. With Finn by his side, Michael slowly started enjoying the simple things in life that he had missed out on for so long. He was surprised at how quickly the little ginger cat helped heal his heart and got rid of his fear of cats. Now, Michael proudly takes Finn everywhere in a special pet carrier, excited to introduce his best friend to everyone he knows. If someone had told him a year ago that he would become the guy who dresses his cat in little sweaters for holidays, he would have thought they were crazy. But now Michael has fully embraced his new role as a loving cat dad, and there's no turning back. His life was forever changed by the special bond he formed with Finn, the stray cat who helped him conquer his deepest fears. From a chance encounter to life-changing moments, their story shows the power of opening your heart, even to something you once feared. What you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you.